go through that with us?
Look, I can confirm, and it's a very important point you've raised. Currently, we do not have any suspects in relation to this matter. There are certain people we are, or groups of people we are interested in. Deputy Commissioner Gaunt fielded some questions this morning in relation to registered sex offenders, and certainly any registered sex offenders that have been identified as being around the Carnarvon area have been spoken to and are being dealt with by the investigative arm of this investigation.
That number around 20 odd.
Sorry?
The number was correct, well, around 20 odd.
Not going into specifics, but yeah, Deputy Commissioner Gaunt was accurate in his comments this morning.
Were any of those people, were they at the campsite?
Sorry, say that again.
Were
Sorry.
any of those people at the campsite over the weekend, those registered sex offenders?
Look, I don't have that information available to me, and if look, I wouldn't comment on that anyway. But look, any registered sex offender that was in the Carnarvon vicinity around here has been identified and has been spoken to.
Had Cleo unzipped the tent herself, or if someone had zipped the outside of the tent, would there just have been the one entryway, or are there two entryways?
Look, the tent certainly has multiple entries. One of the major circumstances that has given us the cause for alarm for Cleo's safety is the fact that one of those zippered entryways was opened.
Which one was that one?
The one adjacent to where Cleo was sleeping.
So the front or the side entrance to the tent?
I think both the flaps are on, both entries are on the front facing, or the front face of the tent.
Was it open to a height that Cleo could have reached?
No.
It was open beyond a height that she could have reached?
That the positioning of that zipper for the flap is one of the circumstances that has caused us to have grave concerns for Cleo's safety.
What sort of testing's being done on that tent and the zipper?
That tent has been thoroughly examined by our forensic team, and I believe it has been seized, and I would imagine that would make its way down to Perth at some point.
You've made it clear that you believe that Cleo was definitely here the night before she vanished.
Yep.
What is tying her to this location? What evidence is there of that if no one saw her?
Look, important point to reiterate here is the account given to us by Cleo's parents, sorry, there is nothing to indicate to us that account is anything but accurate and truthful.
Is there a photo or something of her taken that night?
Deputy Commissioner Mont spoke this morning of some technological evidence that we do have. So we do have things placing Cleo here at the campsite. But like, I really want to reiterate that there is nothing to suggest in the account of the parents of Cleo that it's anything but truthful.
There's been a suggestion that roadblocks were put up several hours after she first was noticed to be missing. Can you reveal what time those roads were closed, and if anyone had actually left the campsite by the time they'd been closed?
The reality is that is certainly possible, that people could have left the campsite prior to roadblocks being put in place. There's obviously always going to be a time delay between police getting notified, dispatch to here, this remote area, ascertaining what has actually happened and making decisions to do things. So clearly there's going to have been a time lapse, and clearly people would have had the opportunity to leave.
Are there people who might have been at the campsite police don't know about? Are you confident you know everyone who was there?
It's potentially, there are people out there that were here in the campsite or in the vicinity that we don't know about. We have gathered a large amount of intelligence from the campers that are here, and then sort of tracking and tracing their movements. We do know of a lot of people that were here, but yeah, sure, there is the possibility we aren't aware of those people. That's why we're asking anybody that was in this vicinity, anyone that was travelling around these roads, if they've got any CCTV, dash cam footage, or any intelligence, any information, would need to contact us, and that's primarily for that reason, to find out who was here.
Did that extend to collecting DNA from people who were here, or fingerprints or anything like that?
Look, that is certainly a standard investigative practice, is to take DNA and fingerprints and whatnot from people that may be involved in the investigation. It by no means indicates that they are implicated in the investigation, but that is a standard practice, and I'm sure that that will be happening at some point.
Was anything else inside the tent disturbed?
Look, I'm not aware of that, and wouldn't be at liberty to sort of disclose that at this point anyway.
And were the family camping with anyone they knew?
The family are obviously Carnarvon locals, have come here very regularly. My understanding is they were camping in the same vicinity as people they knew.
Is the family still here today?
Yes.
And they've remained in the campsite?
Yes, they. I've been speaking to Cleo's mum and dad daily. They simply don't know what to do. They don't want to leave, and that's completely understandable. So we're supporting them as much as we can. But yeah, as you can imagine, they don't know what to do. They're distraught. They've got a lot of support. But yeah, they're just going to stay here in case Cleo comes back.
Has there been an outpouring of public information?
We have had a considerable amount, a lot of information come in from the public, not just from WA, but from national, from other states as well. So the public interest in this is quite large, and we're really quite touched at sort of just how willing people are to help out and give us information.
Mr. Gaunt addressed those reports from members of the public about the screeching tyres early in the morning. Did the family report hearing that sound as well?
Look, in relation to Mr. Gaunt's comments about that, I'm not privy or aware of that line of investigation at all, so I really don't want to comment on that.
Inspector, how close are police to exhausting the search part of looking in this area for Cleo?
Look, we will be here, if I can sort of start, we will be here until we are satisfied that Cleo is not in this area. We have searched thoroughly all the high probability areas that Cleo could be around this campsite. We are now extending it out into the further reaches of where it is possible that Cleo could have walked herself. But again, it goes back to the two scenarios: is Cleo has left the tent and gone somewhere of her own volition, or the worst case scenario, someone has taken her from the tent and potentially be out of the area. Our focus with the search at this point in time is to keep searching until we can put our hand on our heart and say that Cleo is not within this search area.
Is that first theory that she may have gone somewhere of her own volition?
Yep.
Are we talking days or weeks searching in this immediate area, if that's the theory that...
Look, we will be here. We'll be here for as long as it takes. Look, I can't put a time frame on it. It's a very rugged country, and we just need to be satisfied that every inch of this area has been searched for Cleo and she's not here.
And that second theory that someone may
Yep.
have taken her, is it something that you're looking for, is the possibility that someone may have taken her somewhere near to here and she's still there?
But look, potentially nothing is off the table. That's what the investigative team is looking at, is that scenario, and sort of tracking down any leads as to where Cleo might be, and certainly her leaving the area is one of those scenarios, and her leaving the area pretty much points to third-party involvement. So that's why time is of the essence here. We just need to find out what's happened as quick as we can.
Are either of those two theories forming more likely than the other?
Oh look, no, I'm not going to put weight one way or the other. We've got two streams, I suppose, running at the same time, running parallel: the land search and the investigation. They've both got a tremendous amount of resources. This operation is the most important and significant operation for WA Police at the moment, if not nationally. And we are throwing every resource. We're getting every resource we want, we need. We're just going to keep going until we have answers.
In your years as policing, have you ever seen anything like this in WA?
Oh, look, I've certainly been involved in disappearances, searches in my time, but look, this is unique. This is a very remote place. It is a family camping ground. It is a very unique circumstance, and that's why it's just something we need to sort out quickly.
Can I ask how are Ellie and Jake doing today?
They're going okay. They're going okay. They're still obviously understandably very upset, and like I said, they just simply don't know what to do, whether to go home, stay here, or whatever the case. They're very well supported by friends and family here though, so yeah.
You said it was unique. Are police aware of any attempted abductions in this area in recent years?
Look, I'm not aware of anything like that. Certainly our investigative team, the intelligence cell, will be trawling through previous reports and seeing if they can identify anything.
And are you able to indicate whether the family's camping, whether their tent was closer to the shacks or the water?
No, look, the tent was located in the camping ground behind me, which they're all close to the water, so yeah.
Call it the worst case scenario that there would be third party involvement in that, a possible abduction. Given we've searched such a substantial area, the zipper being higher than she could have reached, is that looking like the more likely scenario now?
Look, at the end of the day, when we are satisfied from a land search point of view that we have got to the point where we're satisfied to a very, very high probability that Cleo is not here, certainly it becomes more possible that that nightmare scenario is the one that we have to face.
Are you satisfied that she probably didn't leave on her own from here?
Oh, look, we simply don't know. Look, we simply don't know. Like we've sort of pointed out a few times, there's circumstances around her disappearance that make it very concerning, and it's things like the fact that the zipper was allegedly up so high, the sleeping bag is missing, we still haven't found the sleeping bag. Things like that really do make us have a really bad cause for concern. So time is of the essence. We just need to keep going as hard as we can for as long as we can.
Have we passed the critical window?
Sorry, say that
Have
again?
we passed that critical window for Cleo to be found alive?
Look, we are hopeful that Cleo is still alive, and we're operating on the premise that she still is alive, so we're going to keep searching until we find her.
Has CCTV or dashcam vision revealed any vehicles on any of those important roads at that crucial time?
Look, I'm not aware of specifics, but what I am aware of from the briefings I've been in is that yes, there are things coming forward from the public, CCTV, dashcam that is proving useful and providing investigative opportunities.
Other than Cleo's parents, obviously we know with abductions, often if it isn't an abduction, often a family member or a relative or someone who knows the child is behind it. Has anyone else who's related or who knows Cleo been questioned?
Look, I just again want to reiterate, there are no suspects at all in relation to this matter. As an investigative tool, speaking with the family, extended family, close family, is a standard part of victimology. I'm not aware of specifically what witnesses have been interviewed, but I'm sure family members have been interviewed by the investigative team.
Thanks, John.
No worries. Thank you.